Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I'm here. I'm just going to do some collaging. I've got some pieces that I've torn up, whether they're scraps of, and that's exactly what I'm using. I'm just using some scraps of pattern papers, scraps of my coffee dyed. You can tell I've got things printed on the other side. I've got some book pages here. They're not vintage book pages. They're just book pages from when I got out a book. From the center, so I keep all of that and just either use it, I either use this or I use one of the dollar store kids sketch books for when I glue and stuff like that. I've grabbed out my tissue paper, some other pattern papers, my glues and all of that, and I'm just going to use a piece of magazine paper. It's thin, and it's just from a magazine that I like to read once in a while. But I do like to use this rather than cardstock because, one, it is so thin. And as I'm layering, you know, as I keep on layering those layers, I can still put it through my sewing machine. I try not to beat up on my sewing machine as much as possible. Not that that works, but I try not to do it. So I like to keep my backgrounds to very neutral, just very slight pops of color to come across my page. So I do kind of have a method when it comes to creating these large sheets, because then I just cut them down or I'll scan them so that I can print out the pages and put them into my junk journals and so forth. So, and pretty much I'll be creating those collages as well. I have an idea and I've been playing around with it. So grab your scraps, grab your inks, grab your glue, grab whatever you want to collage on, or if you just want to grab your stuff, again, let's just create some pages. Now, it'll probably take me the entire time. I'm going to try not to have this video be too long. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. But I'm sure it will be. Just because it's what I do. You know, my videos are long. I gab through my videos. I thoroughly enjoy reading the comments that people don't like my gabbing, which it just makes me giggle. So, warning you now, long video, and I'm going to be gabbing. So, if you don't like that, don't watch. So, one of the things that I like to do when I collage is I like to put a layer of the book pages down. Now, a lot of the book pages do get covered, and honestly, the reason, okay, so like the book that I'm using here that I pulled from, it's a John Grisham book, because obviously I wanted to buy multiple copies of it. I don't know why, but I just did. You know, I read his book. I'm a huge fan of his writings. Thoroughly enjoy them. So I know there's, you know, some language that's not pleasant, and so forth. So even though I take the time to ink around each of my pages, I do like to have most of it covered up because I don't want to offend anybody with, you know, the pages, and knowing my luck, there, you know, there would be one right there. So anyway, so this is what I do with those pages because I really never know, you know, what they're going to say. I know it's strange. I really do a lot of times overthink the process. So again, it is a John Grisham book, even though it says the Testament. It's not what you think. It's the book that he wrote called Testament, or The Testament, which is a very good book. Okay, so again, I put a layer of book pages down. I usually try to only do 3 because I'm hoping with what I'm going to fill in, it's going to cover up. Okay, what do I want to do here? There's going to be some thought process here. As I said, I keep them very, very neutral, and then I really do, I come in with craft tissue paper. Let's see. I do like the fact that the pages come off the edge. I think it adds interest. And even though, I mean, I took the time before I hit record, that's upside down. I tore up some of the papers and inked around them with my vintage photo. So I'll still continue to probably tear at them just to fit them in on this page. I really like that one. But I look for very neutral pages, and again, these are scraps. When it comes to certain pages, and again, they have to be certain papers when it comes to me keeping my scraps. Neutral, it's just something that I'll look at. I know it's weird. It's very weird, I know. But I'll know it when I see it to save that page. And it could be a very small piece. Because it all depends. When it comes to my collages, they're kind of like my base. So even after I have some collage pages done, there's different things that I could do with them. I'll scan them and make them pages within my junk journal. Because I just love doing that. I mean, and again, when I scan, I don't stamp on them. I don't, because it's a very confusing thing for me. But, I'll put other, pieces that I've printed down. So other digital prints. Oh my. I'll put other, photos that maybe I fussy cut. Maybe like the Tim Holtz dolls. I'll put that going across it as well. So there's all kinds of different things that, I'll look to do. And yep, that just literally flew across the room. Yes! I think in every one of my videos, I throw something across the room. Or something just flings. Let's just say it flings. How about that? Put that there. So again, these very much are my bases. And you'll see, because you'll see I'll push the words back. It's almost like, for me, like an art journal. When we use that mixed media, we put that, a lot of times we use that tissue paper or we stamp something, but then we want it pushed to the back. It's kind of what I'm doing with the fabric that I've got going on here, or with the items, the pieces that I have going on. Oh, I don't know. Oh, that one's better. It's There's a lot of peach going on that. When I do cut my fabric, I do always, I'll use a little bit of glue because really I will put my sewing machine down this. So I just want that to be stuck there for a little bit. I think I'll put that one. Well, I should have done that one different. Let's see if I can still do it. Yes. And again, I'll put my sewing machine through that. And unfortunately, you're going to hear that noise a lot because I keep dropping my my glue stick. So you can see I start with the book pages. I come in with the pattern papers going around. I come in with the coffee dyed. Again, just laying that, and again, my objective is to make sure the design on the magazine page is pretty much covered. Because I don't want the magazine to come through it, but I want the different colors to come through. So now this is where I'm coming in with the coffee stained papers. There is going to be another piece of fabric that I want to come in. I do find this very relaxing. It's like a puzzle. You create your own picture, really. And I think that's pretty cool when we can do that. See? So you can see the the words are slowly, they're just slowly getting pushed back. I think, I know I've watched Gail do these a lot, and I think Nick the Booksmith, she does these. I think she calls these Franken pages. Hers could just come out really cool, actually. But again, you can do whatever way you're looking to do that. Oh, would that work? Yay, I like that one. And just like paper, alright, I was too close to that one. Let's see if I can do it that way. I do love to tear fabric as well. Just say. You have to do it with a little bit more oomph. But it is fun. And I love to save these strips too for the tops of my tags. Too close. So fabric, I will make sure that it's always flat down on my page, and I think that's pretty good. I think that's all I need. You know, yes, I've got this here's part of the magazine page. This is part of the magazine page. You know, there's probably some more that I could put in back or on top of this. Let's see if I can put that there. Let's do that. Okay. So I think we've got good. Now what I want to come in next with, okay, I'm like 20 minutes in. I want to come in with some tissue paper. Now, the tissue paper I have is craft. You could use any color that you would want. I just like the craft because I like the color that it gives. And honestly, it's because I have it. It's what I have. I use craft when it comes to packaging up my items that I sell. It fits into my icon that I have. So that's really why I have craft. Craft tissue paper can be inexpensive. I have seen it at the dollar store. So, but when it comes to the craft, again, you can use any color that you want. Just know that you will get a different effect. So all I do is I like to tear it, of course, because I just love to tear things. And I'm just going to set it down in place. Now, I do not worry if it is flat on my page. I'm good with the wrinkles. And I even try to make sure the wrinkles are in there. I will make sure it is flat down onto it though. So, and that's what that does. It pushes everything back, if that makes sense. All right, so let's go with another one. Yeah, I like that right there. Sorry guys, that glue thing's now driving me crazy now as well. As I just shook my camera because frustration. I want one coming from here. If you're hearing that noise, excuse me. Oh, let me get this sip of my water. Oh my, that was better. Okay. Yes, I'm still fighting everything that I got, and this started right after Christmas, so it's very interesting. Not quite sure if I'm done yet, but you never know. Oh, I am so sorry. And if you heard that big gulp, we apologize again. All right, I think this is going to be my last piece. And you know what? I don't want that to go there. Okay. So that is pretty much how I'll put together a collage page. Again, only small amounts of bright colors, but they're still very soft. They're not, you know, hot pink. I mean, yes, this is hot pink, but it's a softer shade of it because of the background. You know, these, yes, they're bright, but they're kind of toned down. They're not the true bright color that you would normally see. The fabrics that I use are also, you know, toned down, or maybe just very soft shades. You know, if I was able to find like a gray or maybe that blue there, that would have come into this as well. The only thing that I have left to do onto this is I just want to sew some lines onto it. So let me go do that, and I will come back and show you what this looks like. Now, I can't bring my sewing machine up on here, so I will be right back. Okay, I am back. I have done the sewing. So you can see I I strategically place my sewing. Now, when also I do my sewing, I always use either an ivory or a very off-white thread. I don't go into different colors unless somebody specifically asks for it, but I do like the look of the white. You can see it. I mean, brown would be cool too, but I just gravitate to this, and you can see I have it where it comes for the fabrics. I just want to make sure that the fabrics are in place. So I've got this line down here, this line here, this line here to attach these two. Now this will be cut up, or it's going to be scanned. So, and again, these are scraps. These are all of that hoopla, you know, everything that I just throw in. So like these scraps here, I will keep these, and I just keep them in a little baggie, and I pull them out specifically for this because I have these as my base. And again, these could be cut up for tags. These could be cut up for tucks, pocket bases, tag bases. Again, it's a base. You know, I'll put something else up on top of it. So, again, I keep everything. Keep all the little scraps. It's what's fun. But this does also, I mean, there's nights where I'll just pull out my scraps, pull out my bins, and I'll just go to town and create a bunch of these. You know, I may not even sew them, but just to have these in a bin somewhere and I can pull them out as I need them. And I also do scan these so that I can put them in my journals as well digitally. So it's really cool. So yeah, I'll take a huge picture of this. So I hope you grabbed, you know, some of your stuff. I hope you crafted. I hope gave you some trips. I gave you a new way to look at things. I see a lot of our crafters out here on YouTube do this. This is just something, the way that I start. I grab a piece of very lightweight paper. This is still very thin, very pliable, so I can even still tear it, less, you know, when I get to the stitching. Sometimes I wait to do my stitching until after the pieces are cut. So you can do that too, but I do start with a very lightweight base. I start then with my book pages down, and then I come in with my pattern papers, and then the coffee dye and fabric, and then tissue is the last thing that comes up over this. So I hope, again, it's just a different little spin, but very much inspired by so many when it comes to the YouTube. And I do love that fact of how we can learn and continue to grow by so many that are out there. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I gave you some ideas. As I said, again, those that I mentioned will be linked down below if you want to check out their channel or check out any of their projects that they are in the process of creating. I know I put a post out and I asked everyone a question. So is there, I'm getting ready to do, I think I know the answer, but I'm just going to ask anyway. So make sure you leave the comment down below. So would you like to see it? It's a project from start to finish. So would you like to see, I have watched a couple people on YouTube make these altered books, you know, where you rip out the pages and you leave a page. Like if this was a book that was together, you know, I would keep these two because it would be a top pocket, and I would tear out, you know, like 10 pages, and then the next one I would do some type of fold to create a pocket. And so I think they're called altered books. I think that's what, again, I know I've seen Crafty Irina do it, and I think Gail. So would you like to see one of those from start to finish, or would you like to see another signature style junk journal using another digital collection that I have purchased, because there are so many out there. I am in love with them all. So we can do that. Or do you just want me to keep just making ephemera, different things that we can do, whether pockets or whatever? Or would you like both of those projects to run to coincide? I have the feeling I know what the answer is going to be. So just let me know. I'm trying to figure out what the next project is, but for now, I'm just going to be doing some ephemera for pieces that I need for other projects that I'm trying to get done. So let me know down in the comments below. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell and make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you already subscribed, thank you so much. I am so very grateful that you are here. I'm very thankful. To me, it's humbling. So I cannot say thank you enough for joining me and sticking with me. I hope everyone is enjoying their day, but remember what's most important for me, and it's important for every day that we must do this. Always. Be creative, everyone. Take care.